If you're being honest with yourself, you probably feel like your brain is working against you right now. The noise never stops. The pressure to keep up is exhausting, and no matter how much you consume, it never feels like enough. And here's what nobody tells you. That feeling is not a character flaw. It's the result of a system that was never designed to help you think clearly. There was a man who lived nearly 2,000 years ago who lost everything a person can lose. His freedom, his status, his rights. He was a slave. And somehow he developed a way of thinking so precise that modern brain science is only just beginning to catch up to it. His name was Epictetus. And in this video, we're going to look at 3 problems that are wrecking people in 2026 and exactly how his method solves each one. If you're trying to get your mind right and actually build something with your life, hit subscribe because this is the kind of content we put out consistently. You can also follow on TikTok and Instagram for daily breakdowns. Now let's get into the first problem. Problem 1, the comparison trap. Here's what's actually happening when you open your phone and start scrolling. Your brain is running a survival loop, scanning your environment, comparing your situation to others, looking for threats. That mechanism kept humans alive for thousands of years. The problem is that social media has weaponized it. Research from 2025 shows that the biggest dopamine spike doesn't come from getting a like. It comes from the uncertainty of whether you're going to get one. Same mechanism as gambling. And every time you measure your real life against someone else's highlight reel, you're draining energy on something that was never real to begin with. Epictetus put his answer at the very opening of his handbook. He said that some things are in our control and others are not. Our choices, our responses, those are ours. Everything else, including other people's lives and success, is simply none of our business. Epictetus was teaching the mental rule that says how you see a situation 2,000 years before science ever came from. So every time you catch yourself measuring your life against someone else's, ask one question. Is this in my control? If the answer is no, you put it down. Problem 2, information overload. The second problem is the noise, and it's doing something to your brain that most people aren't aware of. Brain imaging research shows that too much digital stimulation reduces the part of your brain responsible for focus in decision-making over time. So the more overwhelmed you feel, the harder it becomes to think your way out of it, which most people never step outside of that loop. Epictetus taught a practice called prosage, which means active and deliberate attention rather than passive mindfulness thoughts. The kind where you treat your focus like a limited resource and consciously pull it away from everything that doesn't serve the life you're building. The action here is straightforward. Before you open a new tab or start scrolling, ask yourself what you're actually going to get from it. If there's no real answer, close it and redirect. Problem 3, anxiety about the future. The third problem is the anxiety that comes from not knowing how things are going to turn out. And here's what's actually happening in your brain when that feeling hits. Research shows that your brain's alarm system fires within milliseconds of sensing a threat, real or imagined. That first wave of dread is not a choice, it's automatic. But how you respond to it, that part is entirely yours. Epictetus and the Stoics had a practice for exactly this. They called it premeditation, the deliberate thinking through of what could go wrong. Before anything important, you sit down and calmly walk through the worst realistic outcomes. And the interesting part is that modern therapy arrived at the same conclusion too. That calm, controlled exposure to a feared situation reduces its power over you significantly. When you've already thought through the worst and decided how you'd handle it, the actual event loses most of its ability to knock you off balance. The solution, blueprint. Most people move through life reactively, responding to whatever feels urgent, avoiding whatever feels uncomfortable. What Epictetus was pointing at, and what the science now confirms, is a different way of operating entirely. One where you decide in advance what deserves your attention, what's actually your responsibility, and what you're willing to face rather than run from. 2 things you can start doing today. First, build the habit of the control question. When something pulls at you, ask whether it's in your control. If it isn't, set it down. Second, take 5 minutes before anything important and walk through what could go wrong, calmly, not anxiously. Research on how habits form shows that choices like these, repeated over time, actually change how your brain handles pressure. You stop reacting and start responding. That's the shift. Epictetus built all of this without a laboratory, without technology, and without freedom in the conventional sense. What he had was clarity about the one thing no one could ever take from him: how he chose to respond to the world. And in 2026, with everything